Good evening, everyone. It is 7 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. Before we start, I would like to congratulate you all for having won the municipal elections last Saturday. It is certainly I thank you for the service that you are giving to your community, for your hard work. And again, congratulations for your devotion. I want to wish a welcome to our new elected representative, Ryan Evans and Real, and they will bring a big contribution to our deliberations. If there are no objections, I would like to start with the presentation of the new council, and I would like Ryan Evans to present herself to make the sermon of allegiance. I, Ryan Evans, solemnly affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, and that I am duly qualified, as required by law, for the office of Councillor for the municipality of the District of Clare, and I will truly, faithfully, and impartially execute the duties of the office to which I have been elected to the best of my knowledge and ability, and that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partial or any undue execution of the duties.
Elle a pas dit ça. Elle a dit ça.
I would invite now our Councillor Danny Hill to come forward.
I, Danny Hill, solemnly affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, and that I am duly qualified, as required by law, for the office of Councillor of the municipality of the District of Clare, and I will truly and faithfully impartially execute the duties of the office to which I have been elected to the best of my knowledge and my ability, and that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partially or other undue execution of the duties of my office.
Thank you, sir.
I will invite now Madame Cooper to present herself. I, Ryan Cooper, solemnly affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, and that I am duly qualified as required by law for the office of Councillor of the Municipality of the District of Clare, and that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially execute the duties of the office, and that I have been elected to the best of my knowledge, and that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward for the promise thereof, for the exercise of partiality or other undue execution of my duties in my office.
Typical. Ouais. Daniel l'a tout dit.
Vas-y.
I will invite Mr. Carl DeVoe to come forward. I, Carl DeVoe, solemnly affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, and that I am duly qualified as required by law for the office of Councillor of the Municipality of the District of Clare, and that I will truly execute truly, fully, and impartially the duties of the office for which I have been elected, and to the best of my knowledge, and that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partiality or other undue execution of the duties to my office.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. I will invite Mr. Brian Como to come forward. I, Brian Como, solemnly affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, and that I am duly qualified as required by law for the office of Councillor of the Municipality of District of Clare, and that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially execute the duties of the office to which I have been elected, and that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partiality or other undue execution of my duties in office.
I, Eric Potier, solemnly affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. And that I am duly qualified as required by the law for the office of Councillor of the Municipality of the District of Clare. And that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially execute the duties of the office to which I have been elected to the best of my knowledge and ability. And that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partiality or other undue execution of the duties of my office. I, Nadine Cabot, solemnly affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law. And that I am duly qualified as required by law for the office of Councillor of the Municipality of the District of Clare. And that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially execute the duties of the office to which I have been elected to the best of my knowledge and ability. And that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partiality or other undue execution of the duties of my office. I, Yvon Leblanc, solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law. And that I am duly qualified as required by law for the office of Councillor of the Municipality of the District of Clare. And that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially execute the duties of the office to which I have been elected to the best of my knowledge and ability. And that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partiality or other undue execution of the duties of my office. So now this completes the presentation of our new council. And once again, congratulations to everybody who is here. And now I will proceed to item 3 of our mandate, which will be the signature of the warden. This being said, are there nominations for warden of the municipality of Clare? Councillor DeVoe. I would like to nominate Councillor Yvon Leblanc as warden, please. Councillor Leblanc, do you accept this nomination? Yes, I accept. Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? And last time, are there any other nominations? Excuse me, I thought you wanted to nominate somebody. Since there are no other nominations, I would ask Mr. LeBlanc to present himself to make the solemn as warden of the municipality. Now I will be warden. Excuse me, I was too much of a hurry, sorry about that. So, the nomination has been done by Councillor Doe. Is there somebody who seconded by Councillor Potier? I am ready to accept his nomination as warden. All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Against? Motion carried. Now I ask Mr. Leblanc to present himself. Okay.
I, Yvon Leblanc, affirm solemnly that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, and that I am duly qualified as required by law to become warden of the office of the municipality of the District of Clare, and that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially execute the duties of the office to which I have been elected, and that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partiality or other undue execution of the duties of my office. So we will now proceed with the nomination of a deputy warden. Again, can I have any nominations? I would like to nominate Eric Potier as deputy warden. Mr. Potier, do you accept the nomination? Yes, with pride. Thank you. Are there any other nominations for deputy warden? Are there any other nominations for deputy warden? And for a last time, are there any other nominations for deputy warden? Since there aren't any, I will go on to the motion. Councillor Comeau nominated Eric Comeau as deputy warden. Does anybody wish to second the motion? seconded by Danny Hill. All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Contrary, no. Motion is carried. I will invite our Deputy Warden to please come forward. I, Eric Pache, solemnly affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, and that I am duly qualified as required by law for the office of Deputy Warden of the Municipality of the District of Clare, and that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially execute the duties of my office, and that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partiality or other undue execution of the duties of my office. So that completes officially our installation ceremony for 2024. Again, congratulations to everyone. We will now go on to the adjournment, but before we do this, just so the people that are listening, we will take a pause until about 7:45 to take a few photos of the new members of council, and then we will start with the regular council meeting. So we will return at 7:45. Can we have a motion for adjournment? Motion by Warden Yvon Leblanc. A second. Thank you very much.
Bonsoir tout le monde.
Good evening, everyone. It is 7:36. We will start our meeting a bit early. It should work. You all have the agenda. We will need a motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Councillor Hill, seconded by Councillor DeVoe. All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. Item 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Are there any items on the agenda that puts you in conflict? If not, we will continue. Item 4, presentations. There are none tonight. We have item 5, adoption of minutes. 5.1, September 18th, the regular council meeting. Are there any errors or omissions on there? No? Moved by Councillor Hill, seconded by Councillor Conseiller Comeau. All those in favor? Motion carried. 7.5.2, October the 2nd, the council in committee meeting. Any errors? You had a chance to look at it. Moved by Councillor DeVoe, seconded by Deputy Warden Pache. All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. Item 6, business arising from previous meetings. There is nothing there. Item 7, the warden's activity report. I didn't know if I would be warden tonight, so I have no report, but we will push it to the next meeting. You have a freebie for this meeting. So we are at item 8, official statements of the members of council. Does anybody have any? Councillor Rayanne Cooper, I would like to note the bravery medal received by certain members of the community. Just for the concept, the bravery medal recognizes the people of Nova Scotia who have exceptional courage to save somebody else's life. So 8 people and one who lost his life have received this distinction yesterday in Halifax. Among the 8 recipients, there was Carl Comeau from Church Point, Carl DeVoe from Sonyville, and Terence LeBlanc from Sonyville also. The 3 are recognized for their actions at the home fire, and Mr. Comeau was a paramedic, and when the 3 entered the house to try to save a lady who lived in the house, but unfortunately the lady didn't live. But we thank them for their courageous actions. Thank you for that. Any questions or comments on this? I was there for the reception yesterday. Councillor DeVoe was there. I don't know if you have any words about this.
Yes, it was a good reception. It was something, it was nice to see the other people who have received distinctions, the medals. And against, there was also, one was very young than us. It went very well, and I am proud to be one of the recipients of this medal. It is something that I will never forget. Thank you for this. Anybody, Councillor Comeau? I would like to congratulate Karen Maya from Sonyville Station. If you ask Kevin, he came from Pipedown. Kevin has been given blood, and he's giving blood for the 100th time, as I saw this on Facebook. So I propose that the municipality sends a letter of congratulations to recognize his generous contribution to the Canadian community by giving blood. If you agree to send this letter. I forgot to ask if you wanted to send a letter to treat those in favor to send a letter, motion improved, and also send letters to the 3 recipients of these medals. Are you all in favor to send this letter? Thank you. Motion carried. Does anybody else have a presentation? Councillor DeVoe. Thank you, Mr. Warden. I would like to announce that the birthday present of Philippe Leblanc, Philip, the diesel mechanic in Comoville, Philippe Leblanc, on 20th of October has 90 years old, or young. He had a gathering there. I went and it was very well organized. The family was there. We laughed together. So I propose that we send him a certificate, and if I would be willing to present him this certificate myself if council desires so. All those in favor to send this certificate to Philip's Diesel Marine? Motion carried. So this is all for the official presentations, which brings us to correspondence 9.1. Denise Como, this hotel from the Bangor Mill. Fire members of the council, as you know, the historic site of Bangor was destroyed by a fire on the 8th of June last year. The construction has been done before the fire, and the part of the section in wood was destroyed. The damages was up to $24,270 for the retaining wall, and at $7,475 for the sluice door. These works to be done in an urgent manner. The community would want to see museums on this site, but we cannot go forward with this until these amounts are paid for. So on September 15th we had a funding that allowed us to get $11,000 so I'd like you to, if you could help us pay these two amounts. The Commission of Bangor would like to work all winter on the reconstruction of this museum to recognize the work done by the forest industries at St. Mary's Bay. So the QR code on our has been visited many times during the summer, and we have many thousands of people following us on Facebook. Therefore, we cannot proceed on our project before these two invoices are paid. Signed by Denise This Hotel. Are there questions or comments on this correspondence, this letter? Councillor Como? They're not asking for a specific motion, they're just asking us for a contribution towards paying the balance of these invoices. Do we have any funds remaining for grants to organizations that could be used here? I looked the spreadsheet before the meeting to confirm, according to our last report by the Director of Finance, there's about 15,000 to grants to organizations that have not been given to other projects. Doesn't mean that we're not gonna get more. We had a budget of 60,000 this year for grants to organization, and we have given about 45,000 up to now. So there's about 15,000 remaining at this point. We had given a little less than $3,000 in the past for picnic tables at the mill, but unfortunately these were also destroyed by the fire. I know it's hard for them to keep this project that had already been done, and they don't have the funds to cover all the invoices. However, I'm asking myself if would council agreed to advance a certain amount of money, as Mr. Steer mentioned. There might be other requests for from people for these grants, but I know if council would be ready to maybe send them at $1,000 or another amount. Do you agree with this proposition that, Brian, we do have 15,000, but we're not quite at the end of the year? And I can also say that right now we have not received any requests from other groups for these grants, so we don't have to limit ourselves to 5,000 if this is what you wish. Winter months are coming here, so construction projects are not as numerous during the winter months. I have another do you have any discussion with Denise Des Hotel regarding how much money they'd like to have or how much they expect from us? She has not specified any amount. I think the group as such is looking for other ways to find money to do this. It's two companies from Clare that have done these repairs, and I think those two businesses have done this work at reduced price just to help the commission, but Madame Des Hotel says there is still quite a bit remaining to be paid, regardless of their generosity. So I think I had the feeling from Mrs. Des Hotel that they'd like that if these two invoices would like to be settled as soon as possible. The two companies has been very patient up to now, but to regard your answer, she has not mentioned any amount, but I think anything that we give them would be greatly appreciated by the commission. Councillor.
And I think we should be a little more generous than the 1,000 that Brian had mentioned. I think we should go to 3,000 or 4,000 at least to help out. You know, this was an unfortunate incident. Oh, you already said 5? Oh, I thought you said 1. Oh, the translator said 1. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. You're ahead of me then.
Sorry about that.
So they did not have fun recently, so are you ready to make a motion? Deputy Warden Pache, I would like to support the motion from Councillor Como for $5,000. He made the motion and I second it.
5,000.
All those in favor for the motion of 5,000? 5000? All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. So that brings us to item 10, the General Director's Report. Thank you. Just a little overview of the projects that we have. Our expansion at the medical center, as you know, we had some delays there. We are concentrating our efforts to finish the main level, which has the doctor's offices. And if we look at that level, the drywall is 97% finished, and the stairwell behind, we need to complete it, but that section must be complete to go to the other level. The ceiling grid, the ceilings in the rooms, they are at 98% complete. There's a few items to do, but that's completing also. The installation of the floors, we are 90% in the new section, and all the doctor's offices and the exam rooms have been finished. Now we are looking at the corridors. The doors have been installed. The millwork is on site. It was installed where it is possible. The furniture is coming and has been placed in the offices and the exam centers. The doctors also chose their rooms, so we know where they will be located in the new section. And the installation of the elevator is still happening. We are finally putting the cladding on the outside of the building. The contractors have have started at the side that faces the water, but they are going around the corner towards Metegan, and then they will go around to the front. So that is being done presently, and they started last week. To finish that part of the works, we allowed 6 weeks. It might not take all the 6 weeks, but it is a big job. On the project as such, as you know, in the past we had challenges regarding the management of trades on the site. It has been improved over the few weeks. It's not where we want it, but we are working on it presently. There is a meeting tomorrow with the contractor, Rick Jack, for the trades, and possibly myself on site to discuss what we can do to have the project go forward quickly. For the sidewalks in Metegan, there again, the project is going well. The section A, which is the new section of the sidewalk, you have seen that they have cut in the road yesterday and the day before to put the culvert, so that installation is now complete. The curbing for the new section was scheduled. The tentative date is November 12th. Once the curbing is done, from there they will be able to frame the sidewalk and pour the cement. So we hope to do that. We hope to do that during the 3rd or 4th week of November. So at that point, the big part of the project will be done, we hope, and there will be a few details and landscaping to do, but I met on site with the engineers and the contractor yesterday, and they assured me that the project will be over before winter during the calendar year. Section B of the sidewalk is Route 1 at Peter de Gore Road. That section is complete. There are a few little jobs to do, a few deficiencies that we are looking at as we go, as we become aware that there is something. So it is very minor, and the contractors have been very receptive to address these situations when they occur. The Veterans Center, the work there is a work advancing well. It took some time, but the momentum has started. So as you know, the building, the former building was demolished. With the abatement of the new hazardous materials have been taken out. The excavation has been done. The footings have been framed and have been poured. The walls of the foundations are almost complete now. The backfill, the interior backfill is complete. And the preparation for the slab on grade, the underground plumbing, electrical, all that, will start shortly. So the intention is to have the slab poured in the next couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And the framing for the building, for the new building, should start at the end of November. So we hope to see walls and the roof going up before the holidays. For the fire service review, as you know, for the two new councillors, the review was given to the emergency measures group at $67,000 plus HST. As you know, in spite of our efforts and that of EMG, we are having difficulty getting information from the other fire halls to complete the study. So I will meet with the consultants, not next week, but the week after, just to discuss the options of how to go forward with the study. Mr. Lal Kwam, the lead consultant, proposed a few solutions. So we will discuss more in a couple of weeks. The intention is still to go forward with the study by following the plans that we had prepared. Our project for the Clare and Argyle Acadian tourism. These are the interpretive signs that we did with in partnership with Municipality of Argyle for the Congress. As I said, the 40 signs had been installed in July in time for the Congress, but there were still a lot of work to do with the content on the signs. We are looking at about 40 texts, about 80 texts. So for that reason, we extended the date, the completion date for the project with the approval of APECA. So it is now COA. So it is now planned that we will complete the work between now and March 31st, 2025 for the writings. So for Clare, there are 17 altogether. 14 out of 17 have been completed. For Yarmouth and Argyle, there are 22 and 13 have been completed. So the others will be finalized during the winter for a launch in the spring of 2025. So for some text, there are drone footage, and some are audio. We need some retake there too. So the website that we developed for the sites, for the project, we did a soft launch, but it is still being developed. We are adding some new functions and photos, but until now we had 29,000 hits since October 21st. So the site is very popular. So if we look at the top 6 web pages that were visited on the site, it would be Church in St. Bernard, the Moulin Bangor, Cape Fourche, the beach at Comove Hill, Église Saint Mary Church, and we have QR codes that can be scanned to get the additional information. So if we are looking at the top 6 QR codes that were scanned, the first is Cap Fourche, then Église Sainte Marie, Church Saint Bernard Church, Cap Major Point, and the Wentworth Park. So in partnership with the Historical Society for the Challenge Fund, it is the project at the Major's Point at the chapel. There, the project is going well. The work at the chapel are complete, and there was a deck and a pathway to get to the chapel. The walls around the cemetery have been completed also. There is a bit of landscaping to do at the base with topsoil to make it look better. All the site was elevated to allow a better drainage, and the seeding was done with some white clove, but the balance of all the landscaping will be done in the spring. The first headstone was installed. The new headstones, instead of the wooden crosses, it will be headstones in slate, and Alex Graff are doing them. There will be a metal cross also being built now that will be installed on the site also. So that project is going very well and is close to being completed. For our planning for the land use bylaw,
This again, it's going very well ahead with Stantec. They prepared the draft of the land use bylaw, and the operated Stantec, their internal process, they do an internal review in Stantec. They just completed that exercise. There were calc modifications that were recommended, and these are being done now, are being brought to the document now. They're also looking to make a few maps to include in the document. But this being said, we should be receiving the first draft for our revision purposes either at the end of this week or at the beginning of next week. So once we receive these documents, we will be looking at this, but we will also give a copy to council and try to plan a meeting between Council and Stentex to discuss these, and then there will be a formal presentation, public for the once we have studied it here at the council, and when the presentation is done, we can see for the first and second readings we trying to get this document assured all of this to be finished before the 31st of March 2025 for an update for the project of building at Cutter Road that we're doing in collaboration with Malta Group. You have probably seen that there are certain work that has started on the site. The plan for the site plan has been finalized by the surveyor. They actually staked out on the site where the buildings or part of the buildings will be put. So according to this plan, the site has a capacity for 43 houses with 43 houses. 34 of these houses will be 2 bedrooms and 9 will be just 1 room. This site can allow 43,000. The purpose, our objective is to start with 20 and then see what the demand will be. The planification for the septic has been completed by Nova Scotia Environment. They're waiting for the approval for the driveway by Nova Scotia Public Works, and this should be coming in fairly soon. They also did test soils for the wells. Their intention was to do dog wells, but then they saw that the terrain there has a lot of sand in it. So they're looking now to look estimates for drilled wells to compare both, and this will probably be the solution that they're gonna follow. They did 2 of these houses have already constructed, 2 of them about 80% constructed at their site in concession. They're just waiting for a bit of material to fall to continue, and also have for the appliances for this building. Also, for your information, the developer has also purchased a place in Metegan. They're also doing a site plan there in Metegan to develop such houses there also. So according to the initial draft that they said, they will try to accommodate 12 houses with 2 houses. They want to branch on our system with the 12-inch pipes that we have on our system. If we augment the circumference of these pipes, we can accommodate more of these houses. So we're discussing these now to see what are the possibilities that can be studied. So can we, if whether or not it is possible to, and how much it would cost to change the pipe diameters to accommodate a greater number of houses there, but in collaboration with them. It's something that we'd like to see happen, and they're looking at 25 houses for that particular site in Metegan. The firehouse in Hectanuga, the generators are there. We're looking for the site work excavator to do some trenching, but this should be done fairly shortly. Our building in the new Villa Acadienne now is finished. The roof is now in the right color, it's black, and the generator is there and installed. All the thing now, we need Nova Scotia Power to come and tie it in to the station. I think we have received the date, but I don't have it with me now. There again, we hope that this will be done fairly shortly before the winter storms. For our finances on the 30th of September 2024, the municipality had recorded 11,656,949 in revenues versus 7,750,794 in expenses, for a surplus of 3,906,155. As September 30th, 2024, has a balance of 6,309,308 in its operating fund, 331,931 in its capital fund, and a total reserve balance of 3,887,149. The total reserve is in operating reserve. We have 2,879,937. In the capital reserve, 97,743. The landfill closure reserve, 370,114. The gas tax reserve to 20,399. The SS, we have not received that allocation this year right now. We haven't received it yet for this year. And our sustainable SSGF reserve, sustainable something, growth fund, is 518,956. It's a provincial fund. And finally, our credit line for the construction of the expansion at the medical center right now is 4,586,273 as of September 30th. It was my long report for this evening. It was a very detailed report. Are there any questions or comments on Mr. Sears' comment?
Sure. That brings us to item 11, committee reports. 11.1, the building permits. Councillor Como, for the constructions for 2024 at the end of September, there were 136 permits granted for a total of value of $12,824,055. And compared to September 2023, there were 184 permits granted for a value of $16,318,050, about $3.5 million less than last year. Questions or comments on that report? No. 11.2, the Southwest Nova Biosphere Region Association. Councillor DeVoe. Thank you, Mr. Warden. Just to report, we don't give these reports very often because we have meetings, but we don't have much to report. So we had a meeting on October the 2nd. Those that are very important in this movement for the biosphere region, we are part of UNESCO, and for the people who are interested, we have a good website for interested people who want to go read what we are doing, but we have a good website. I encourage you to go see it, and it will answer a lot of questions and all the work that we do, because we did a lot. One thing that we spoke about at the last meeting was land acquisitions. We are purchasing, we had money, and we are purchasing land around on our site, around our UNESCO site, that starts from Middleton, for those who don't know, and goes all the way to Queens. So Annapolis County to Queens County, that's our site. So we are purchasing land to use for migratory birds, to have habitats for birds, to make sure that they have areas where they can nest especially for the rare birds. If we purchase these lands with the money that with our grants. Another of our projects is what we call 2 billion trees. We are planting trees, 2 billion trees that we would like to plant. That is going well. We don't have a date for these planting, but it's a project that is ongoing. There are different organizations that plant trees. We plant as much as 80 or 100,000 in one project, so it's going quickly. If we can find an area, we hire somebody to find areas on our sites. We plant different art trees. It's not always spruce. There are different trees that are planted, and they are going well with that project. Another project, and I mentioned here before, the Science Atlas project that is still happening. That is a project that we have with the Community College of Middleton, the geographical group, the science group. So it's a big project. We have been working on it for a long time, and it is still ongoing. It will be for schools and for the public on our website. So that's basically what's happening. There are a lot of projects. These are the biggest ones. So I encourage those who are interested to go look at the website, and you will see a lot of things that we do and a lot of projects and things going on. Thank you. Questions or comments on Councillor DeVoe's report? We will have to go check to see how many trees there are. Did they hit 1 billion yet? No, they did not hit 1 billion, but it has only been going on for a couple of years. So we had difficulty at the beginning. We did not have the trees to plant. They are sending seedlings, but we could not get the seedlings. We were planting them quicker than what we could get, so it backed us up a bit. But we are getting seedlings from other areas, and we have a lot of land now where we can plant, so it will go faster now. Thank you. We are going to item 12 under new business, motion to send a letter of support to the Fire Out Festival. Thank you. We were approached by Fire Out Festival for a letter of support, a letter that will accompany their request for funding from Heritage Canada. They are not asking money from the municipality. It is only a letter from the municipality saying that we support their efforts and we support their request for funds from Heritage Canada. It's a letter that we did in the past from this group and other groups. It is certainly something that I recommend in this case. Questions or comments on this? Deputy Warden Pache. We always supported them in the past, but I am ready to make the motion that we send a letter. Now I have it. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare send a letter of support to the Fire Out Festival in support of their funding applications to Heritage Canada. Moved, seconded by Councillor Hill. All those in favor? Motion carried. 12.2, motion to approve a change order for the demolition of the washroom building at the Joseph and Marie Dugas Park. On September 18th, after we had the fire at the park, the toilets were also destroyed by a fire. There is still a part of the structure standing, so the council had wanted to pass a motion to grant a contracts for the destruction of the rest of this building. But we had then a second fire that destroyed a second building, and there again the structure was still standing. So we decided that the second structure, in its present state, there were still activities going on the site, and we saw that it was a danger to the public. So to be clear, the fires took place in August. The second fire, when it happened, we contacted the council by email to act quickly, to have their approval for the interest of the public and to demolish. It was a change order with the contracts that we had with the supplier. So the council adopted unanimously by email. So now we are looking for a motion to ratify this decision of the council and to clarify the original motion to destroy the first building was $2,230 plus HST. What we are proposing tonight is to add to that amount $2,200 plus HST to include the second building. That brings us to a total of $4,430 plus HST. Does anybody wish to, if you have a chance to go see, you will see that the buildings are gone and they did a good job. So this is what I am proposing tonight.
Anybody have questions or comments on this, Councillor Hill? I'm prepared.
Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare increased the amount awarded to DeVos Dirt Works Limited for the demolition of the washroom building at Joseph and Marie Dugal Park from $2,230 plus HST to $4,430 plus HST to include the demolition and cleanup of a second building within the park.
Proposed by Councillor Hill, seconded by Councillor Evans. All those in favour? Against? Motion carried. 12.3, motion to appoint a building inspector official. With all the changes that have with recently with the development of our public works with Daniel Goda, inspector of that changed position, it created a situation when you had an opening for another inspector for the municipality of Clare. So we launched a competition to invite some submissions, and the process, we had interviews, so we hired Mr. Beliveau as inspector of for the municipality of Clare, Jude Beliveau, to have Mr. Beliveau start working on the job and its accreditation with the notion we needed a motion by the council to officially appoint him as inspector of buildings for the municipality of Clare. So what I'm asking you this evening, that Mr. Beliveau is following his first course this week in Halifax, and up to now it's going very well. So I ask you for the motion to appoint him official as building official. There are comments on this motion? Councillor Como. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare appoint Jake Beliveau as building official for the Municipality of Clare. Proposed by Councillor Como, seconded by Councillor Cooper. All those in favour? Against? Motion carried. 12.4, motion to appoint a fire inspector. This is exactly the same story that I told you, and with the exception that we name also Jake Beliveau as inspector of fire inspector. This was how it was done before with the predecessor, so Brian LeBlanc, and so what we're now we're asking you to nominate Jake Beliveau as the fire inspector for the municipality of Clare. Somebody ready to make this motion? Councillor Deveau. Thank you. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare appoint Jake Beliveau as Fire Inspector for the Municipality of Clare. Proposed by Councillor DeVoe and seconded by Councillor Cooper. All those in favour? Against? Motion carried. 12.5 motion to order tender for the demolition of 286 Dotremo Road in Michigan River. Yes, we have received quite a few complaints for this house on Dotremo Road at 286. We inspected this property. The bylaw, Mr. Bloom and the inspector of buildings, the both of them were agreed that the building in its much was not what the dangerous and inaesthetic, and the recommendation is that it be demolished. We tried to contact the owners without success and many different times, but this being said, we have done all the we followed all the rules according to the municipal rules, regulations, so council has accepted the recommendation and passed that the house be demolished. And when this is demolished, we proceeded with tenders to destroy this house. We received 5 submissions, 5 reputable companies bid on it, and this is the recommendation of that we accept those of DeVos Dirtworks Limited for the demolition at the amount of $4,490 in HST. Questions or comments on this motion? Deputy Warden Potier. This has been going for quite a while. I do this motion. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare accept the proposition from DeVos Dirtworks Limited for the demolition of 286 Dotremo Road, Michigan River, in the amount of $4,490 plus HST. Proposed by Deputy Warden Potier, seconded by Councillor DeVoe. All those in favour? Against? Motion carried. 2.6 motion to send a letter of recognition to the Courrier de la Nouvelle-Écosse. Yes, this, as you know, you have seen, the Courrier de la Nouvelle-Écosse have received 4 excellent prizes of excellence in 2024. This, the Director of Community, they have the award for Newspaper of the Year, award for General Excellence, for Excellence for Front Page of the Year, and Excellence for Special Print Project of the Year. This is a great accomplishment by the Courrier de la Nouvelle-Écosse, and I think it will be nice to send them a letter on to the Courrier to recognize their accomplishments. Questions or comments on this one? Somebody ready to do the motion? I'm ready to do it. I think it's very good, and to encourage, I move that Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare send a letter of recognition to Le Courrier de la Nouvelle-Écosse for having won the 4 prizes of excellence for the Francophone Present 24, namely Newspaper of the Year, award for General Excellence, graphic quality excellence for Front Page of the Year, and Special Print Project of the Year, proposed by Councillor Cooper, seconded by Councillor Como. All those in favour? Against? Motion carried. 12.6.7 motion to approve the Municipal Emergency Management Plan. The municipality had a plan for the Municipal Emergency Management Plan that was passed quite a few years ago. The document itself was a document that is regularly modified and will continue to be modified by putting additions or as the situation evolves. The model that we used was a model based on the plans of King's Regional Management Emergency, which for Kings and other municipalities, this part of the province is very well seen by the province, and their plan was accepted by the province, and they have received their approbation. So we used their model, we adapted it to our realities in Clare, but essentially it's the same model that we're using. The reason I presented this evening is because there are quite a few revisions done to the document since the last time that council has approved it. So we're being asked by the province to submit a recent version, updated version. So the plan that has been reversed by myself and Mark Dusa, EMO, and what we're looking for this evening is a motion by council to adopt the plan so that we can send it to the province. The province likes to have an official motion by council because they have to know that the council likes this project. There are certain things that I think that I want to add to the plan that is not in this current version. For example, we did our mapping by a project that was financed 100% by the province. This project produced much of information regarding the potential of flooding in Clare, where some are more at risk than others. The document is it's a brick, it's very thick. My intention is not to include it in this document, but there are maps in this book that are valuable for our plan. So it would be our intention to include the flood with our communication director. We will communicate, how do we communicate with our citizens during an emergency situation. It wouldn't be limited to emergency situations, but the reason we want to go ahead with this system is to how to act in emergency situations. We're now studying this system, and we do want to cater for the municipality and develop templates for the system. And what is interesting about the system is that it can be either by email, text. So when a person is involved in this, we're not limited to communicate by phone or by email. So this opens the door. It gives us another communication tool that will help us. So this also, the intention is to have a section in the document that talks about this tool, and because we're learning it at this particular time, we have not launched it officially yet. So when I say it's a live document, this being said, if you agree with us, what I'd ask you this evening we'd have to motion to accept the document as it exists now, so that we can send it to the province. Do you have questions or comments on this? It's a big document, but I haven't read everything, all of it yet, but somebody ready to the motion? Councillor DeVoe? I have a chance to read it, because that's all I have to do, but it is long to read. I'd like to do I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare approve the Municipal Emergency Management Plan as presented. Proposed by Councillor DeVoe, seconded by Councillor Como. All those in favour? Against? Motion carried. So this goes to number 10, a closed session. We have 3 items tonight. We have contract negotiations, acquisition and sale of municipal property, and personnel matters. Before we ask for the date for our next regular meeting will be Wednesday, November 20th at 7 o'clock. As we said, we need a motion to adjourn. Proposed by Councillor Como and seconded by Councillor Evans. All those in favour? Against? Motion carried. Good evening, everybody. Voilà. Ouais, ça c'est une réunion.
Oui.